What is going on, everyone? It's Brody here, back again to talk to you about one of probably the most unknown things about tennis, but also one of the things that affects your game the most when you're playing, and that's going to be strings. Now, a lot of people always try and look and find to see and answer the magical question, what is the best tennis string out there? And there's no right or wrong answer for this because it's all up to personal preference. Yay. So what you have to do now is you have to start looking at the different types of string and figure out which one actually you think is going to help your game more compared to all the other ones. So I'm going to give you a rundown on essentially the four main types of string. There are technically more than that, but you're really only going to hear about four. Every so often you might hear about the fifth one, but that's a pretty rare case. And I'll explain why a little bit later, so stay tuned. Now, the first type of string that you're probably going to hear about, it's not the most popular type of string, but it's probably one of the more common ones because it's the introduction string for a lot of players. This is called a nylon or a synthetic gut string. Now, nylon or synthetic gut strings, you usually do find these in rackets that are pre-strung when you go and buy them, usually on rackets that are like anywhere from base $100 and less. If you see a racket that already has strings inside of it, there's a high probability that you're looking at a nylon or a synthetic gut string in there. Now, this string is pretty great for the fact that it is the introduction string that will let you know how the racket plays. It's not designed to increase spin, to increase power, to increase control, or to decrease any of those things. It's just designed so you can get an accurate feel for how the racket plays and what you can actually do with the racket with no outside help from the string. That's really where synthetic gut and nylon strings shine, because you get to really see what's going on. Now, other than that, another reason why synthetic guts tend to be pretty popular sometimes is that they're also the cheapest type of string. Usually the highest one I've ever seen in price is like $6, maybe $7. That's it. And you get the entire pack, you do the full racket, you're good to go, all done, taken care of. The one drawback to synthetic gut and nylon strings, like I kind of mentioned earlier, it doesn't do any one thing particularly. It just lets you see what's going on. So if you're looking for more spin, if you're looking for more power, if you're looking for more control from your strings, these aren't the strings for you. That's where you want to look into some of the other strings that I'm going to talk about, such as the next string, which you'll find, and that's going to be the multifilament strings. Now, multifilament strings are pretty cool for the fact that these are going to be a very soft string. So while you may be thinking, why would you want a soft string? It's because softer strings dampen and take away a lot of the vibration from the ball and the racket, so that when you're holding it and you swing, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, then a lot of the vibration is taken into the string and it doesn't go back to your arm, causing tennis elbow. So that's where multifilaments come in, as well as, because they are a softer string, they also help you give a lot more power back, because when the ball hits the strings, not only does the multifilament strings absorb a lot of the vibrations, but they also bend back and then slingshot the ball forward. And that's what you can get with a softer string, being the multifilament. The one thing you have to remember with multifilaments, because they are softer though, they are not as durable. So they do tend to break quicker than some of the more durable strings, which I'll get to here in a few minutes. But if you're looking for a string that's pretty easy on the arm, as well as is great for providing a lot of power, and you just want to get out there and go play, because these strings, they're not that expensive. Usually I think the low end ones you can typically find around like sometimes $9 to $10. On the high end you might go over 20, but usually right in the middle at about 14, 15, or even some of the ones, I know Head has one, it's called Head, what was it? head. I don't remember exactly what it is. I can't believe I do that. That's probably one of my favorite ones, but it just escaped me right there. So it'll come back to me, but usually right there in the middle, you're gonna be just fine with multi-filament strings. Now, the next one that you're gonna wanna look into, if you're looking for more control, you're looking for more spin, you're looking for a more durable string, that's gonna be polyester. Now, polyester's kind of become the mainstay string here now just because of all the things I just mentioned. It gives you the most, it gives you the most spin from any string, it gives you the most control from any string, and it's the most durable of any string because it's a harder string, as you probably could have guessed. Now, like with a multi-filament string, those are softer, so it's easier on the arm, gives you more power. Polyester strings being harder, it's a lot harder on the arm, so you have more chance of tennis elbow coming to you, as well as the strings just aren't as powerful. That's kind of the trade-off you have to go with polyester in order for you to get all the other advantages. So if you're looking for a string that is designed to give you more spin, power, and durability because you're, say, a chronic string breaker, or that you're just looking to you don't want to change your rackets because you like what you're playing with, you just need a little bit of a different kind of playability, you need that more spin, you need more control, whatever you're doing, that's where polyester strings come in. Now, polyester strings are also great for the fact that they have a slew of, there's a ton, literally. You have some that range from like $5, you have some that range for like upwards of $25, sometimes almost $30 with how things are going now. With polyester strings, it gets a little bit more confusing because there are different types. There are shaped strings, there are circular strings. All in all, if you really just want a good polyester to try just to get your feet wet with it, and I would say look to a string from Turna. They also make a tennis grip called Turn Attack or Turn Grip, or whichever one you prefer. But Turna has a string, it's called Big Hitter Silver or Blue, whatever color you prefer. Those strings, and just the regular ones, not the Big Hitter 7 or the Big Hitter anything else. If you go with the regular one, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to understand and just kind of have like an easy transition into polyester strings, because that's a circular string, so it's not as harsh as some of the other ones that have shapes to it, as well as it's just an easy transition going from either a multi-filament or a synthetic gut to a polyester, because they share the same shape, and you're just going to get a little bit more durability, spin, and control. Plus the Turna one, like I said, or if I didn't say it yet, the Turna Big Hitter Silver, it's only like $7 for a polyester string that compares very well, in my opinion, to other strings from other companies that cost $22. So Turna's a pretty good option. That's my opinion. Try it out for yourself. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Now, besides all that, like I said, there were 4 main types. I've covered 3 of them. So the last one that I'm going to cover here is going to be natural gut. Now, for all of you tennis fans who've been with the sport for many decades and years, natural gut is the OG string. It was the original one, and it's still going today, actually made from cow intestine. Now, some of you who just heard me say that, you are thinking, ew, that's disgusting. Why? And I'll tell you why. So natural gut strings are probably going to be like multi-filament strings on steroids. They're the softest string, they're the best for your arm, they give you the most power back, and they are just overall a great string because you also get a lot of feel from the ball as it's coming off your racket and as you hit the ball. Sometimes strings can go dead, which usually means you need to restring it, and that just means that you can't feel the ball when you hit it anymore. It's a lot harder to tell what's going to do, and the string just doesn't do what you want it to. Natural guts essentially alleviate this problem because they are one of the ones that will, once you get them in, you feel the ball for a lot longer, they maintain their life for a lot longer, and they have a lot less problems of actually hurting you. Now, while natural gut strings are amazing and they're great, they have some drawbacks. As with any string, which I'm assuming guessed by after me talking about this for the past 10 minutes. However, with natural gut strings, the things you need to know is natural gut strings are very, very, very susceptible to the weather. So if you're playing a tournament or if you're just going out to play for fun, you don't necessarily want a natural gut string out in the rain or the cold, because it's just going to ruin it instantly. And then you're like, oh, well, I mean, okay, sure, that's fine. If it gets ruined, I'll just get another set of it and put a new one in. And to that I say, let me tell you why that's not necessarily the best idea. Because natural gut strings, for just one pack, usually at the lowest point I've ever seen were about $30. At the highest point, they're about $55 to $60. So yeah, you don't necessarily want to go natural gut all the time. Unless you got the big buku bucks and you just feel like you want the best top quality string of all time, you can get natural gut. Go for it. That's up to you. Try it out. See what you think. Let me know what you think. But overall, most people don't need natural gut. Multifilament's gonna do almost the exact same thing and be just as good for you. So those are the four main types of strings. Like I've said, the fifth one that I mentioned earlier in the video, that's known as a Kevlar string. Yes, you heard that right. It's Kevlar. It's the exact same thing, made out of Kevlar vests that police wear to help protect them from bullets. So you really don't need a Kevlar string unless for some reason you're breaking string every other day when you're playing, or you just want something that you think is going to kill your arm. If you think you can handle it, I mean, good for you, but I have never recommended a Kevlar string in my entire time helping people with strings, rackets, or anything, because it's like, dude, I don't want you to stop playing tennis because of a string. This is not, no, don't try it. That's my disclaimer. I can't control what you do. If you want to try Kevlar, you can, but it's probably not the best idea. But like I said, those are going to be the main types of strings that you will find and you will see out in the market today. There's a bunch of different companies that make different strings. They all have essentially their own versions of each thing. So if you want, I can make a video going through each string of the main companies that do make it, and I can give you feedback on how they play, what they're like, how they're shaped, what they do, and whatever else you may want to know. So just leave that comment down below. As well as if you have any more questions about strings or just anything tennis equipment related in general, leave a comment down below so I can reach out and get back to you so that we can help figure out what works best for your game. Now, with all that said, like always, take care.